All right, let's do some listener submitted business advice. Hey, Alex and Aaron, I run a residential painting company. As always, send your questions to unsexybusinessmen@gmail.com or put your questions in the comments. We're doing around $35,000 to $40,000 a month. Congrats. Have 4 employees and steady demand. On paper, things look good. I hear this a lot. The problem is I'm tracking a lot. Revenue, leads, close rates, hours worked, payroll percentage, but I still don't feel confident about the health of the business. Some months feel great, other months feel tight, and I can't always tell why until it's already stressful. Everyone online says track your numbers, but no one really explains which ones actually matter once you're past survival mode. If you had to narrow it down, what metrics actually tell you whether a small service business is healthy or heading toward trouble? That's a good question. I like that.
That is a good question.
It's a good question.
The easiest one is, what is your cash flow after you've paid everything? So that's going to be a giant indicator. And guess what? The internet is correct. You need to be tracking all of your numbers, because if you're doing $40,000 a month and you're not seeing a good amount of profit, my first question is like, are you undercharging these projects? And maybe you got great employees, so you pay them really well, which is fine, but you need to then make sure you are charging enough to cover their payroll, your taxes, insurance, all that stuff. I would look to make sure that you're charging enough. But the first indicator is that you're emailing us saying, "Hey, I'm not as profitable as I want to be." The main number you need to be looking at is what you're charging, and then what all your expenses are, and then coming up with the number to make sure you're charging enough to cover obviously all those expenses. Plus, what are you trying? Are you trying to do, you want to be like 20%, 15%? Like what are you trying to be as far as percentage wise, what you're profiting? So that's what I would look at.
Yeah, so definitely know what your goals are. You have to have goals to be able to track anything anyways. But if I were going to, this is probably like oversimplification, but I agree with Aaron. Revenue, just so you know that number. Profit, which is going to be that cash flow number that Aaron is looking at. Churn rate, clients that leave and never come back, depending on if that's a thing or not, because then you know how much business you have to replace each month. And then sales, like new monthly sales, and have a goal there. Because I agree too that like you should be looking at employee numbers and all of those things as well. But if you know those, like how much sales we need to like grow to what we want to do, what our profit is right now, and what our churn rate is, I think you're gonna be good. Bonus points, if you can calculate a lifetime value of a single customer. What are you in? You are a residential painting company. So people might not need painting as frequently as other services. So maybe it's, the lifetime value is that one sale, but like when they move to a new house or they want a new room painted, maybe like the lifetime value is actually double or triple that average number that they have. So those would be my thing. The bonus point is the lifetime value. But the other ones I 100% agree with. And congrats on growing your business to that level.
Sounds like it's going well so far.
All right. Number 2, I own a car detailing business. Business has been steady for the last couple of years, and honestly, I'm not struggling. Good. Bills are paid. Work keeps coming in, and I'm not panicking. That said, I keep hearing talk about recessions, slowdowns, and consumers pulling back. My concern isn't that things are bad now. It's that I don't know if I'm actually prepared if demand drops. I don't want to overreact and choke the business, but I also don't want to be caught flat-footed because I assumed good times would last. What should small service businesses realistically be doing before things slow down? Not doom prepping, but actual smart prepping. Another great question.
Yeah, that's a great question. Like expanding your service offerings, maybe changing how you do it. I don't know exactly how you have it set up. I know there's a bunch of different ways you can set up your business for car detailing. Are you only having people come to your shop? Are you going to their house? Have you talked to like companies that own fleets of cars? Have you gone into car dealerships and seen like, hey, we'd like to service, if you have a new car going out, you want to get it cleaned and freshened up, or you just got a new trade-in and it needs to get cleaned up. There's just a bunch of different tactics that you can use.
Yeah.
Yes, and possibilities. And maybe moving into like news services. I don't know if I'd be like, get into carpet cleaning or whatever, but different types of cleaning besides just cars. I mean, like boats. I mean, are you into boats? Are you into RVs? Like, what are you doing everything possible? So if it does, there is a downturn, there's always going to be rich people. It doesn't matter. The downturn doesn't matter. And rich people like to have their cars cleaned. So what's like your clientele look like? Is it, people that only want to do it once every 10 years? Or are you focusing on people that have money, and even in economic downturns, maybe they're doing it every, 6 months or every month. I don't know how often rich people get their cars detailed, but that they would still do it at least once a year or whatever it is. I guess that's what I do.
Yeah, make sure if your car detail, make sure you have some sort of marketing automation for repeat business to make sure that
Mhm.
they are always thinking of you. And a good reminder is what happened in 2020. Some industries thrive during bad times, and then some industries don't. So my example is, what a lot of people were doing surprisingly in 2020? Buying homes. So home building was great, and that was really awesome for a glass door company that we were working for. 2020 was a really good year for them. What was really bad is that Italy shut down everything. So if you were getting Italian leather to make shoes, you weren't going to have inventory. So one of the Italian shoe companies that we were working with had to essentially like stop working with us, because like we literally can't sell anything because we can't replace our inventory that we have right now. That one didn't last forever. That was like a 6-month thing, and then they were able to start building up their inventory. So a reminder that markets don't necessarily make everything bad. Sometimes it can be a really, really good thing. It was also great during 2020, working in government. 2020 was great because the government was, especially healthcare, government was spending a lot on healthcare for 2020. So uh, I don't think necessarily there's something with car detailing there, but just whenever you hear people doing the doom and gloom, 2008 happened, 1990 something happened, or 1980s, there's another recession. The Great Depression happened. We always find a way to get out of economic problems. Like even look at Greece. Greece had a huge major meltdown, and they are on recovery as well. So don't get scared. The people who are prepared, the people who are trying to grow, are going to be absolutely fine. The company I was at in 2020 decreased pretty significantly, but that was because most everyone had tons and tons of clients. So half of their clients you did shitty work for, and the other half you did really great work for. Guess who left? The clients you're doing shitty work for. And it was essentially like this economic thing happens, and it was like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't be giving you guys $10,000 a month because you guys aren't that great. So doing good work is inevitably going to keep people with you. Like, oh, you've helped me grow my business. You're going to be able to see me through this dangerous time.
And we probably buried the lead. The easiest thing you can do is save money for a rainy day.
Also true.
Like that's probably, I mean, and we're talking about business kind of strategy, which is obviously very, very important, but make sure you have, 6 months, a year, whatever's going to keep you comfortable. Like Alex said, like, yeah, there might be a massive recession or whatever, but it never lasts forever. So if you set yourself up in a way where you can ride out the storm, like let's say there's a huge impact on car detailing, you're not going to lose every single one of your clients. So if you already have this money set aside and you can slow the bleeding down because you already have that money set aside, that's going to take a lot of pressure off, and probably also still motivate you to maybe try some of these other ideas that we had as well. So have money set aside for a rainy day.
Yeah. Thank you for submitting your questions. As
Great
always,
questions.
send them to unsexybusinessmen@gmail.com or add them in the comments. And we will chat with you all next week.